Get excited! I'm excited too! My name's Gabby. This is Lesbi Swag on Sunday, and I am subbing for Deanna. I'm really sorry for the fact that this is going up on really Monday way in the morning because I just got home from camp. It was so much fun. I went to fine arts camp for songwriting, and I just got home and I'm making the video and I'm putting it up really early but really late because technically I didn't fall asleep, so it's still Sunday, so really I'm not breaking the rules. Or I totally am. But that should be fine. This week's topic is long distance, and I sort of have an interesting opinion on it. I'm for long distance relationships if you don't really have another option, I guess. I wrote here on this sheet my points. I said long distance, yay or nay. I think it can be both yay and both nay. And there are many reasons why. First of all, do you really know this person? I mean, like, if you've talked to them and you've, like, connected with them, that's great. But, like, have you met them? I mean, there's times where, like, you'll meet someone, you'll get to be really good friends with them, and then you'll have to part. Let's say you're at camp or something. Like, I just got home from camp, that's why I sort of look like a mess. And you'll meet at camp, you'll sort of hit it off, you'll have, like, a week or so at camp, or 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or 4 weeks, or however long you're at camp, and then you have to leave. So if it's something like that, then I guess that's a different basis, I guess, for your relationship. But if you go into something and you've never met them and you talk to them sometimes, I think committing yourself sort of is that makes no sense. Committing yourself is a commitment. But saying that you're in a relationship with someone that you don't really talk to, you don't really know that well, maybe not the best idea. Now, if you don't really have very many options where you live, like where I live, pretty much no one's out. Like, there's got to be more lesbians. There's got to be. But, like, it's not a community that's very nurturing to lesbians, so not very many people are out. So if you have, like, one lesbian person in your school and you're not attracted to them, then you're going to want some kind of, like, connection. And I totally understand that because I feel the same way. So if that's the case and you're meeting someone, let's say online, or you meet someone through mutual friends that live sort of far away and you start talking to them and you realize you want to have some kind of relationship, then go for it. But there's a few things you need to, like, think about, I guess. First of all, are you really ever going to see each other? If you're planning on seeing each other, that's great. But depending on how far they live, how old you are, it's really going to affect it. Because if you're old enough to drive, then sure, you can drive to visit them, but how far away are they going to live? Because I have friends that live in Toronto, I have friends that live in Chicago, I have friends that live in Florida. So if I'm dating someone who lives all the way in Florida, that's going to be a lot different than dating someone who lives in Toronto when I live in Detroit. So you sort of have to think about that. And if you're 16, like I am, and you're dating someone who lives in Toronto, like, how are you going to get there? How are you going to pay for it? Do you know what I mean? There's so many steps into really seeing them. It's such a hassle, but it's worth it if you really like them. It's the long distance relationship. You don't really get the connection that you get with the person who you see every day. Like, there's no hugs, there's no kisses, there's nothing more than that. It's just like Skype dates and texting if you can text, which I hope you can. You know, there's different elements of a relationship, and if you're doing something long distance, and you're going to give a lot of those up, and you just have to ask yourself, like, is it worth it? But if you find someone that you think is so attractive, and they live like half a world away, that doesn't mean you shouldn't go for it. You know what I mean? I mean, either way, it's going to be really hard because relationships in general are pretty hard.